Today we're going to be playing a monsters deck that was requested, and that is going to be some vampire control, specifically with Ysgith Sword. So this is an interesting one, and I thought we would just try it out. So vampires don't necessarily fall into the typical control where you play a bunch of removal, but there are cards that fit into it pretty well. Verena in particular has a ton of control in the opponent's boost that you can do. And then we filled in some other stuff, so let's get into it. We're going to play Arachas Reborn as our finisher still. We are going to play Oniromance to get access to the cards we want. Then we're going to play two big removals in Heatwave and Vigo's Muzzle, then Ysgith Sword. So these are interesting ones. Heatwave just to take care of stuff. Muzzle at 10, just because Muzzle is a pretty strong card, and it has some decent synergies because we can bleed things down from like 7 or 8, and then seize them, which is nice. And then it just fits pretty well. And we'll talk about a couple more synergies later. Then we have the Ysgith Sword. The Banish is nice. And then, obviously, you can get a good unit off of it. So, we are playing Operator. A couple things you can do here. You can always Operator. You can use Ysgith Sword to give the opponent a Flutter, and then kill the Flutter with Ysgith Sword to spawn it next round. I don't think that's as good as Incubus, because Incubus you can do twice. You can bring it back around 2 and 3. But it is an option, and it comes with damage, so it's not too bad. The same thing with Muzzle. You can always Operate or something, then Muzzle it. It'll be locked, but you do have Purifies in here. Then we're playing Lord Riptide, just as another control tool. We have Verena, super strong against things like Harmony. Not so great otherwise, but against things that buff a lot or boost a lot, she's extremely good. Then we have Toad Prince. Again, he's got some synergies here with the bleeding. You can bleed things smaller than Ethan with Toad Prince. But really, we're just trying to go in here with the idea of having much of control. And then Tesha, Mutton's Sword. This is one of my favorites. You just put bleeding on something, and this does 10. It's pretty good, actually. I actually think this is a pretty decent combo. Then we have Operator. Usually make another Flutter. You can make another Necrat if you want, something like that. Necrat's a little... It's okay, because you get more bonus from it, but usually you want to be making Flutters. Then we have Queen of the Night. It's our Purify. Let's just do some Purifying. You want to see something in Muzzle, unlock it. It's all good. Then we have 2 Flutters. We have the 2 Incubi. I think maybe just 1 Incubus might be better, since we have the Ysgith Sword. But I like running 2 anyway. Bring things back, like Necrat. Usually there's a 5 version you can bring back that makes this pretty good. Then Alp, Necrat. We are playing the Riders for consistency. 2 Garkins and 2 Bruxes. You could also play one of the other Purifies if you wanted to, but I think we're good with what we have right now. So this is the Vampire Control deck. It should be pretty interesting. Vampires, like the upper range of vampires is usually either Renfree with a bunch of, like the upper range gold cards. Either Renfree or stuff like Crimson Curse Dettlaff, which I do prefer. But this should work out pretty well, and I think we can probably take some people off guard with this deck. So let's just go see how it does. Finish GD with Guerilla Tactics. This is Harmony. The control we have will be pretty useful. He's going first, though. Problem is we can't really contest a Saskia Commander, I don't think. Although we have a lot of bleedings in a Verena, so we'll think about it. That's better used against water, I suspect. With no Operator, it's a little annoying. No Saskia Opener, and no draw card. So this could just be something else. That's extremely specific, I know. I think we still open with Flutter. Playing one always feels bad, because it means you're less likely to have the Operator combo later. But I think we just need to set it up. The Necrats aren't going to be very good because of his movement. But on the other hand, he might be hesitant to use both of them. Well, he might be hesitant to use 2 on the Necrats right now. We're playing just Milva. That's going to be pretty hard for us to deal with. Our best bet here is just to go short round with Regis last say. So let's try and let them figure out a way to get that.
Can take care of myself.
So keep clearing us. That's fine. There's nothing we can do about it. Trying to think what we want to use the sword on. I mean, I don't think any of these are particularly good. We do want to use it this round. At least we can get the riders off. That's nice. That does actually put us ahead. We just lose the flutter there. Yeah, it's okay. Let's go with you over here. Figure on making a bomb this way. Oh, we just take the win uneven. That's good. We want to bleed round 2 then for short round 3 with Regis. And just say that's just our plan. It should be pretty reasonable. I mean, Operator Garkin's okay. It's definitely not the best thing. It's not the best. We have a lot of golds in our deck. We don't have that much bleeding. We put Operator back. Now we draw Flutter. So that's always how this works. Definitely want to play this. We're going to look to play it as soon as possible. Okay, there's the water. Just every Scoia'tael deck just plays this because it's out of range of most stuff. It's just annoying. The 6 power, I just think the 6 power in this is too much. I think the other buffs were fine, especially to water, I like that one, but the 6 power in this is too much. But we do have Verena, so it counts for something. It'll be useful. Question is, do we go Flutter first? I think we do. He has a decent amount of removal and probably a Shiru, but we'll see what we can do. If he has the Shiru, he's going to play it now. It's a really good one. It gets rid of Garkin and Flutter. But it would take 2 leaders to do. If there's the workshop. No one's surprised by that. Really sad we didn't have her out last turn, but we didn't. Looks like we're not going to get anything in range of the sword, or the toad, which are both sad. None of these, this doesn't do anything. These don't do anything. Like if Garcane is ticking, I mean, I don't really care if we just waste a card, to be honest. Better than him having another card, I think, in round 3. Probably gonna shuffle that back into our deck. Might just waste Toad Prince too. We have a lot of golds we can draw into. Sword would have been better there, unfortunately. We're just gonna get this last say. Call that good enough. He should have trouble developing tempo. Nice, we got that. That's his combo. Without water or sim loss, he should have trouble setting up points round 3. At least that's how his deck should work, I think. And we have like half our deck's golds we can draw into. More than half. Oh, we get the last say on that though. That last ping on him. That's annoying. See, I don't think this is particularly good. Ah, there's that. Okay, this is as good a hand as we're getting. There's the Milva.
I'll get it done.
Best card we could Oniromancy into. Probably just be set up bleeding for our leader. What can we bring back? To get, I'm thinking maybe Alp or Necra. We're gonna last say Heatwave. Riptide would like a better target, but it's okay here. One of these two's last saying. We're seeing Oniromancy for just something in between. I honestly think our best play is go Oniromancy. Just play this for the 3 bleeding.
Your deepest, darkest dreams
I think it's our highest value play.
real.
No, not anymore because you got lucky on that. Let's go with the Lord Riptide. There's the Shiru. So we get to 8, which is pretty reasonable for him. Question: do we think this is a removal card, or do we think it is the dragon? If it's a heat wave, we play this. We think it's the dragon. I think the safer, better play is to do this. But then this is the dragon, we feel really bad. But it probably just a removal card. I think it's more likely it's a removal card. Okay, it's just a removal card. I think he gets enough points here that... No, we win by 1, I think. I think we win by 1. We'll take it. GG. We ended up following through on our plan, but it was a lot closer than I would have liked. Haitoning Tianxi. 100% pronounced that wrong. Let's see. Self Wound's a very good deck, so this will be challenging. Lord Riptide's going to be hard to use. First, we'll probably open this. Double Necker out's nice here. I like this hand, I think. We do actually have 2 extremely good cards for the matchup, Muzzle and Heatwave, that vampires don't usually run.
Life's one never-ending fight.
Question is, do we Heatwave this? Or see if he bleeds it, then we can do it with Muzzle. I think we'll see if he hits it and do a Muzzle. Heatwave's better, I think, overall to have for later. So we use Muzzle now, that would be good.
To war!
I think we have to play the second one here. One of them's gonna die to the Care Troll Day. do need the heat wave. See if he holds off on the order or not. Nope, didn't expect him to. So we definitely have to heat wave that now. We don't really need to put on our bleeding here, even though it would make our guy bigger because they already have bleeding on both of his dudes. We're going for Necker out next.
Travel makes one modest.
The thing here is the Draco Turtle becomes really scary since we don't have the... He could immediately boost it out of muzzle range, but he won't expect the muzzle. So we should be able to get the Draco Turtle if he's playing it. Or the King Canute the Callus. He shoots him fast. So we win this round on even. Really good for us. We have to push round 2, I think. We don't want to be stuck in round 3 against him. Even if it is with a card advantage, because Small Blood gets really strong in those long rounds. So what are we missing? Missing muzzle. We'd like an Incubus. We don't need the Purify in this matchup, so the other cards are actually better than Queen of the Night, I think. Obviously, we're going to lose something to Troll Day right away. I think we just start with you. Well, we want to get the bleeding out for Regis. There's a good chance his deck runs Squirrel too, so let's just do this first. This isn't great because he's just going to kill it. Nothing we can do about this. Let's go. If we go Canute the Callus, whatever you play next also dies. Which is our issue. We're going to have to go for the muzzle. I think we just play this. And force him to go for the King Canute the Callus. Oh, we're just going to do more of this. Okay. Another Troll Day kill. I didn't expect the double resets. I kind of like the Verena here. We're not likely to get much value out of her, but this is a situation where we could. Because it bricks Mardrome at the moment. Now this is the card we want to muzzle. Or Draco Turtle. Is it worth muzzling him? I think so. Normally, we could have gone for the sword instead. They both get rid of it. But let's get us more tempo at the moment, which I think is important because we're pushing. We could also played this on it. Okay, there's Svalbard. We definitely wanted that to be gone. Questions, what else can we get here? This doesn't do much. Doesn't do much either. The question is it worth playing another card? I think it might be. You could kill Svalbard with this and the Teshem sword. He's a bad Fukusha and a bad right now. I could pass. I think this is the safer play. Draco Turtle's a scary card, but with Kara Trollday and Fumveandra, I'm guessing he fits it, but maybe no Cinderif is right or Fukusha. Maybe he's missing out on the Heat Wave. Obviously, he can still have a lot of stuff. I don't think we want this anymore. Pretty reasonable hand. We don't have good engines, though. It's a great Toad Prince target. We set on a Thrive this way, but now we get the bleeding. The bleeding's pretty important because of Regis. That's worth hitting with Riptide or Tesham Sword. Let's go with the Tesham Sword. Okay, it's gonna be for Small Blood, right? We're going for the big board wipe. Hopefully we can get the Lord Riptide in before he does that. No, we can't because he did that. If he does one more, we can. Yeah. No, he's one short still. Do it again. Do the last 2 liters. I know you want to. It's not a good idea, but you should kind of think it'd be funny. So let's see here. I think we do this.
Your deepest, darkest dreams, I can make them real.
I think he might get us with his Small Blood. Not sure what that was about. Is there a Renew coming? Or Restore, rather? It'd be really unfortunate if he's playing Restore. Are you just trying to get rid of the card? Not too sure. I think he's got this, but the problem for this Small Blood is doing a lot of damage to himself. I think this might be Heat Wave. Nice. I think he's got it, but barely. We didn't have enough bleeding here. Oh, no, we win by 2. Nice. I always think he does 3 instead of drains 3. So we do actually take a game off of a very good deck there.
Any last words?
Going up against Ysgith Absolute. Probably just Tatterwing Arachas Swarm. Really annoying deck. And vampires in general have a lot of trouble versus no unit decks. But at least he's going first. Sunset Wanderers, so confirmed Tatterwing already. Oh no, it's not Tatterwing. We spoke too soon. So what is this then? That was a... this is interesting. Operator's good here because it avoids Predatory Dive, which is otherwise a big threat. So we're going to spawn this Flutter. And we'll do this. Pure Swarm. Interesting. Do we think... No, just go Nekrat. Nekrat's pretty safe here. It is vulnerable to the predatory dive here. But so would be, I don't want to go second flutter and then have the leader again. Then that crowd still dies. Oh, that worked this 4 too. We do have plenty of stuff that kind of puts out bleeding for us. Here's a behemoth. I like behemoth. Might be worth taking behemoth with Hengaith's sword. Probably not, though. We could go for this. I like this. Gives Thrive. Thins our deck. Good time for it. Then we'll see what he does. Based on what he does, we'll either flutter leader or play Alp, I think. Good old Chimera. I've been meaning to make a Chimera deck, too. It's up by 23. Let's play the second flutter and do our leader. Bone Talisman time. That would probably get him out of range. So we would need, what, 22 here and 2 cards. 22 and 2 cards. We could get 12 points on flutters, which means we need 10. Alp would give us 4, which would give us 6. We could do it. Right, because this plays for 10 on deploy. Then its order next turn gives us 6. So that's 16. Gets us to 44, 54. Maybe we can't do it. Maybe we did our math wrong. 3, 6, 9, 12. It gets us to 50. We need 20 more. Guess he gets it. Which is not good, obviously. We need to play our second flutter earlier there. We underestimated just how much point slam he could have. You might go for a push here. Like a 7-card round's good for Swarm. If you go to 10, you risk over swarming too much. Oh, he's gonna go for it. Just play our Alp. We have a lot of our control cards, not many of our engine cards. Which is not really good. I think we want an Incubus.
Satisfaction guaranteed.
It's out of predatory dive range. In 2 ways. This could be a good draw for us. That's a pretty good one.
Forget your sorrows.
I want him to play the Hive Mind before we have Arena. There's that dive. It's not very good here. It's a good Alp turn. Get a second dive. He gets value now, though. But you don't really keep 2 dives in your hand ever. So much for a chance it doesn't go well. Let's see, we have some plays we can do. Obviously we want to do the Alp order. Question is, what do you follow it with? None of these are very good. We want to keep these because we want to do those bleedings on different turns for the Flutter. These we want to react to things with. We could throw away Hengate's Sword. I think we just play ranged Riptide, honestly. Seems like the least wasteful play. He's gonna block it with Sunset Wanderers pretty soon anyway.
Your blood smells sweet.
There's a good chance that gets boosted. It does more than 1 damage. He's playing Glusty Warp. We're kind of sad though. Sunset Wanderer. Let's see here. What do we want to do? We're going to probably end up heat waving that, so putting bleeding on it's not great. He has to play his big boost card soon. Okay, there's the Chimera. There's the Chimera. Let's see what we want to play here. This guy's a little big. We're just playing into... He's not playing Glusty Warp, he's playing Chimera. We should probably just do this now. See, we could Tesham sort of thing. It's not too bad. But I think he's going to catch up to us, unfortunately. Guess we kill off another drone. Our Bone Talisman gets him pretty close. There's Yennefer.
Best yield now.
It's not too surprising. There's no 6s, but it's a point keeping him, actually.
I know you're in trouble. I can help.
His last card's probably just a Tall Punish, so let's see what it is. It's most likely Spores. Or just Heat Wave. Yeah. Even without Tatterwing, it's still a very low unit deck, which is problematic for us when we have so much control. Stanislazo, whatever that is. So, we're going first, which is nice against this deck. Probably just mid-range fruits. Haven't seen too much of that lately. Access to a lot of our... This is actually a really strong hand. I do want to... I don't think we need you. This is a very good hand. Let's see what we can do with it. The only thing we're missing is a Necrot. But... the rest of this is so good, I didn't want to redraw it. See if he's got the Riptide. We should have done this. I was thinking about Necrot. We don't have it. I think there's a lot of leaders to play, but I think it's worth it against his deck. Because he really wants to have control. These are usually Errand Knight decks, so this gets a lot of value. That's extra tempo early. Then we can go Alp into our Wild Hunt Rider. Oh yeah, he's going hard. We're not going to catch up to this many engines without... Well, maybe we will. We have 2 Flutters out. We're actually getting armor on our Lord Riptide, which is pretty unusual here. Won't complain about it, though. It's quite nice. He's really far behind, but with 5 Thrive engines, who knows? 6 Thrive engines. It's just all in on Thrive, isn't it? Just all in Thrive. Usually it's better to put Bleeding on the taller Thrive cards. But it's kind of nice to have these guys at 1, because it means whoever doesn't play a unit, they just all die. See if he passes here. I considered going for the sword on the Fuka, but I opted not to, just because we have a really nice one here on this instead. And that way we still get the riders out in case he passes. Do have the second Alp here. He's a lot of points though. Obviously Verena is extremely good this matchup, which is exactly why we're trying to hold off on it. Haven't seen much Pugo lately. Could play our third Flutter, which I don't want to do. I guess we just play the Verena. It pretty much shuts down his round.
It won't help you.
We can hold the Alp order still. So we don't have another way to bleed without our leader if we use it. I'd really rather have a Flutter, I think. I think Verena just ends the round, which is what we want. Now, he didn't play any of his setup cards, so we could push if we want to. It's a bit risky. But with access to another Incubus, we have 2 Incubus. We would really like a bleeding card then. Okay. This looks like a good time to do this. Could own Ironmancy Incubus. Kind of like the push here. Actually really like it.
Satisfaction guaranteed.
I think the Necrot's vulnerable, which means the other Flutter's not as great, so I think we play the Flutter first. Yeah, 8 armor on Riptide's really good. I'm guessing there's a Toad Prince in here, which is why I'm saying this is going to die. But then hopefully the Necro outlives. On the other hand, he might have Riptide or just no control in his hand. Because it seems he's playing a heavier engine variant of the deck than usual. With more, like Fuka's means he's got more tall cards rather than just control stuff. I would imagine. And we still have an answer to the Ethereal, which is good. He decides to go for it. He does not have a good setup for it, though. Would have played his Neckers on the other row if he was going to do that. Question is, do we want to use this? It gives us It spawns the Larvas. It's such a good round start card if he goes first. We might hold that for round 3 and just do this now. Probably kills the Necrot. Although he didn't before. But if he doesn't kill it, we actually have... If he does kill it, we have no more bleeding, which means the Flutters lose a lot of value. If I'm reading this correctly, I think he's pretty much just going all in on the engines, and maybe he can't kill it. Because if he had a way to kill a 4, he would have killed this. Okay, that's interesting. Is going to... what? Might go off. We could do the Hengate Sword. And I'm going to do this. We're kind of all in here. If he's playing Incubus, then I guess. I don't really know. This deck's confusing. Go Nekarot, Riptide. Then maybe keep this. I'm way behind. He does have 5 Thrives, so we can't just all in him here safely, unless this is a low tempo play. This was a low tempo play. We killed it off. A little slow on that play, if we're gonna be honest. I think we just all in him here. We get more points off of these larvas, and this should just be good. I think this is enough. And he's a vampire, so we get the Flutter boost too. Should do it. I don't see 40 points coming out of its hand. Interesting deck, but not good enough in this case. So that's the deck, guys. As requested, some vampires with control. Actually, a lot of vampire requests. This isn't traditional vampires, but hopefully you guys thought it was interesting anyway. But a couple people, I think just one person really wanted control with the Hengate Sword. Which, as far as this deck, the Hengate Sword's an interesting alternative to Incubus, because you can just banish the Flutter. The problem with that play is if you go Operator Flutter, you always put a leader on the Flutter right away, and it gets really small, making the sword not great on it. So that's kind of my issue with it. But as a card, the sword's pretty decent. It's always a really fun one. And people don't expect this much control from vampires, so that gives you an advantage sometimes. However, I think we need a little more bleeding than we have, right? Because you don't really want to use Bruxas, like they're okay. And then you just have Necrots and Alps, and leaders is not quite enough bleeding for my, for what I would like here. I think the best plan for the deck would probably be to remove the Hengate Sword, as much as I like it. I think the Tesha Mutna Sword is interesting, but I think I'd take out the sword and probably go with something that puts out more bleeding. I'd like to fit in Detlaf, perhaps. Maybe Detlaf, and then reduce the Teshem Sword to a lock. That could be interesting. But I think it's just a little bit not enough bleeding in here. But there's, like, almost enough, in my opinion. But as far as the deck, I like control in vampires. It's interesting. It's a little different way to approach the deck, and I had a lot of fun with this. You guys catch some people off guard, but I think we're just a little bit short on the vampire engines. Maybe Plumards instead of the Garcanes would be a good choice. They give out more bleeding, but Yeah, maybe instead of Riders even. The Riders are fine for thinning the deck, but maybe you just go with Plum Arch for the bleeding. That might be the way to go. That could be interesting. They still have the Garcane engines. But that's the deck, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed. It was a pretty fun one to use, and we'll see you in the next one. That'll be it for this one, guys. Hope you enjoyed. We'll see you next time. Make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for more. And you can check out some more videos over here. And thanks for watching.